In the last Eastern Partnership Summit in Riga during 2015, conflict resolution in the region was also high on the agenda. All summit participants agreed to pursue all efforts aiming at de-escalation and a political solution to the crisis in Ukraine. Do you think that the EU and Ukraine are on the right path, or more needs to be done from both sides?
Definitely there is always a space to improve the situation, and in particular the cooperation between Ukraine and NATO in terms of de-escalation and coping Russian aggression. Have to call the phenomenon by its meaning, and Ukraine from the very beginning, when Russia annexed Crimea, demonstrated its willingness to resolve the issues, the conflicts, by diplomatic means, by the dialogue. And from the very beginning, all the world could see that Ukrainian aspirations and willingness does not work, since another side didn't want to listen to. Afterwards, without, I would say again, honestly, strict reaction from our partners in the European Union, in the US, Russia initiated its aggression in south and east of Ukraine. So we've seen the lack of decisiveness from EU side led and provoked and encouraged to some extent Russia for its own aggression. That is why I would say that the major advice and the main advice for the EU to be firm, to be decisive, to be united, and not to demonstrate any disunity, a lack of solidarity. This lack of unity is reflected in different examples, situations. For example, EU representatives on EU level, I would say, yes, are not present in the dialogue, in the negotiations currently between Kyiv and Moscow, for example. This issue was delegated to member states such as Germany and France, which is good as well, but at the same time it demonstrates weakness of the EU. And in particular, it is proven, this weakness, by very, I would say, unhelpful, not supportive statements of certain EU decision makers. On member states level, on EU level, the statements that we lack unity, the statements that sanctions against Russia can be or even should be reconsidered, and so on. All of these statements, all of these reflections are well not supportive, not helpful to the resolution, to de-escalation in the region. They are not supportive in terms of Ukrainian position, but they are also signaling in a wrong way to Russia. Because Russia lives in its own, I would say, virtual world, believing in the weakness of the Western partners, which are definitely not so weak, believing that the sanctions are not so serious, are not for long-term, for a long period of time. It's maybe for 1-2 months more, and then it is over. And we know that this period lasts for now for 2 years already, and it demonstrates the seriousness of the EU. That is why, to summarize, what will be helpful and what will be really supportive and appreciated in Ukraine, it is decisiveness and firm stance of the EU, and less statements about disunity.